What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another week of the Maryland Made Podcast. The Maryland Made Podcast provides timely, relevant, and practical information to empower student athletes to explore their potentials and pursue their passions. It's your favorite, Sydney. I'm here with the #1 student athlete development program in the world. Y'all already know the team. Well, actually, hold on. We actually have a new member of the team. I would like to formally introduce Deja Parker, who serves as the community engagement intern for Maryland Made. Hi, Deja.
Hey, Sydney.
We're going to do something new to introduce ourselves this episode. So I need everyone to give their ideal mic intro. So if you were on a starting five on a basketball team or getting introduced to a boxing match or something like that, anything like that, what would you want your introduction to be? Deja, you got to start us off.
Okay. Hailing from the city where go-go and mobile sauce was born, it's your girl at 5'5", Deja Parker.
Okay, 5'5". All right, I'm gonna go next. So introducing Jersey's finest, aka that girl. She may be small, but she sure is mighty. Sydney Anderson.
We see you, Twink. We see you.
Okay. Risa, you want to kick us off next?
All right. Also hailing from Washington, D.C., but raised in the burbs, because y'all know I'm a suburb kid of College Park, representing the illustrious Hampton University, Assistant AD Risa Lovelace.
Heard the HBCU. Okay, Daisy.
And in this corner, from the greatest city in America, Baltimore, Maryland, we have Daisy, the Nigerian native, y'all Nubian queen. We here, we taking over at 5'9".
Daisy ain't got no last name. Daisy got last name.
Daisy a lazy.
You ain't even mentioned Dukes, Daisy. What's going on?
Yeah, known as Dukes, if you know me for real, but known as Daisy and Maryland Made. But
Nate, you want to go next?
Yes, hailing from Cincinnati, Midwest kid, the newfound Metro man, Nate McGill.
Heard the Metro. Okay. Thank you all for participating in my shenanigans. I love it. So we definitely had an eventful semester and year. So let's hop right into it by recapping it. So in your role, what are some things that you accomplished or worked on this semester that you are proud of? Nate, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I think one of the favorite things that I brought to fruition was the career shuttle down to DC. That was something that we collaborated with the Career Center and the Smith School of Business. And we took roughly around, I want to say like 15 to 17 students down in DC to the Washington Wizards and also the NFLPA, just to expose them to different opportunities in the sports industry. So I thought that was great. It was a good experience taking the Metro, Metro man himself, but yeah, I enjoyed that.
Perfect. Risa?
So I'll say I think expanding our identity workshops. So we expanded to women in the workforce this semester to go along with Black Voices in Career Readiness, and then just some behind the scenes work that I've done with the Big Ten is putting together the LGBTQ symposium. So it'll be the inaugural opportunity for us to do this coming up in a few weeks, kicking off June Pride Month.
Ooh.
That's awesome. I definitely enjoyed both of those things. But one of my favorite things that I worked on was probably my first project that I worked on when I got here, was basically just organizing and putting together the fall kickoff for the mentor program and seeing all of the students like get to meet their mentors in person, and just network and be around a bunch of different Maryland alum and supporters. Daisy and Deja, I know you guys are newer to the team, but have you had any specific projects that you worked on since you've been here that have been excited for you?
It's coming into fruition, so I'm gonna just speak on it. Getting into it with the Selma trip for the Big Ten Diversity Initiative. I'm really looking forward to that, to getting some student athletes. So for all of you watching, if you are interested in learning more and exploring more into the realm of DEI, We have a trip coming up in July 14th through the 16th to Montgomery, Alabama, which will be really great as we continue to partner with some HBCUs alongside us, some other schools in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. And for me, because coming right in my first project, I worked on Fan Fest, which happens right after the spring game. And I really do appreciate our Share the Shell liaisons, Belle and Logan, because they were right there with me, helping me through the whole way. And so it ended up being an amazing event. We had 6 or 7 teams participate. So that was fun too, and got a lot of footage from that. So it was a great time, and I'm looking forward to expanding it next year as well.
That's awesome. And Risa, I know you mentioned the identity development series, but can you also talk about some of the new things we implemented this semester?
So I'm going to take it a different direction because, I don't like to follow your instructions. I think the biggest thing, for us as a staff is like fully being complete, right? So having all 5 of us on the team and everybody getting their feet under them and like bringing in the new thoughts, the new initiatives, the new ideas. I think that for me has been the biggest part of this semester, and thinking about where we're going next with all of the new talent on this team. So I think that for me has been like the biggest thing that we've done this semester for my season.
Yes, I love it. What is something, so our next question is, what is something that the student groups you work with have accomplished that made you proud?
Can I jump in first? Because I'm
Yeah,
excited.
go ahead.
And I feel like you're going to say it too.
Ah, you're going to steal mine.
And I'm so mad that I wasn't there, but I'll just tee it up. Is SAC pulling off dodgeball this semester? Since I've been here in my 5 years, they've often talked about like wanting to do things to build community with one another. And this is the first year I feel like I've seen that actually be pulled off. So I was excited that Taylor and David were able to put their heads together and formulate a plan and get almost 80 student athletes to sign up to come out. So Sydney, I know you were there. I'll let you kind of talk about the actual day of the program.
Yes, I absolutely love dodgeball. It was so different than their normal sitting in a meeting and discussing different things. They're coming up with different initiatives. And it was just good to see so many people from different sports engage with each other. I know Taylor and David were very strategic with putting together their team. So they literally made sure like it wasn't just, field hockey on one team, softball on one team. It was everybody mixed together, which is starting to create that community that I've been hearing everybody talk about since I've literally got here. So it was just really excited to see SAC accomplish that. I'm super proud of them. Since you mentioned that, I'll mention PF Terps. Something that I was super proud to see them accomplish was the Pre-Health Terps career meetup. That was super exciting to see them just plan it from beginning to end, to them inviting the professionals and just being able to put that together so people can network and see these different people in the career fields that they want to go into. So shout out to Pre-Health Terps and SAC. Nate, you want to hit on Worldwide Terps?
Yeah, I got 2 things. First one will be in the fall semester when we did our first holiday dinner. I thought that was very cool to have internationals come out for our like a Thanksgiving dinner. I know that they normally can't go home during that time, so we were able to get them some Carolina kitchen, some good food, we're excited about that. So I was definitely proud to bring that together. We had some fun. We did some games. And then the second thing would just be the tax assistance week that we put together not too long ago. I know stepping into this role, speaking with the new leadership team, like they always struggle with getting taxes done and just understanding that. So I think just being in collaboration with TurpTax and figuring out how we can just assist the students who, went through those struggles was a huge win for us. I mean, I think that we have, ways to go with just, figuring some things out, but I think that was a great first start. And I can't wait to see what the future holds with that.
I agree. I think all of our student groups have done an amazing job. What is something, we're going to switch gears a little bit. So what is everyone's favorite moments of the semester so far? Deja and Daisy, y'all want to kick us off first?
Sure. I think for me, my favorite moments would just be like the connection that we're trying to at least build within the team. I think working at other places, not to compare, but just sometimes you can't get that organic energy with who you work with. And so I think just knowing every day I come to the office with people who support me and my ideas and vice versa has been a favorite moment for me, just knowing that I can always like calling you all for support or advice or just to shoot some ideas with. And so that's what I look forward to every day I come on campus.
Love that. I know. Retweet Deja, and then I'll also add getting to know our students. They are some comical young people, and getting to know how we can help them or they inspire us to come up with new ideas or initiatives to better support them has been something that I've really been enjoying in my first month here, is just really understanding how to better serve and suit them, and then working with y'all to figure out how we can make that come to life. So I've definitely been enjoying that, and those have been some great moments and well-needed moments in our office, in our hallway space for sure. So
I mean, I can jump in and just say, like, I think working with the students have been great. I've been seeing a lot of students who are trickling down our hallway. Like, that's always good to see, building those relationships, having them feel like they're in good hands, they're trusted with, the assistance that we're giving them. But again, building a relationship. And then another great moment for me is just like seeing the seniors for the Gossip Fellows do the presentations. Like, they really put some work in, pull some data points out. They spoke very well, which I was impressed by. With the crowd size and things of that nature. So, no, I was happy. I was proud to see them do their thing, in center stage.
So do you want to hop in?
Sure. So I echo all of your sentiments. I think just being able to come to a workplace where you can like be authentic and just have fun. Like I said this to Daisy the other day, like literally we like to have so much fun when we're working, but it's like we get the work done. So it's like, even though we're having all this fun, we're doing all these things, having conversations with our students, it's like we're still doing the work. So that's something that I want to look for in any workplace that I go after Maryland. But I definitely also enjoy like seeing the growth of different students throughout the QBasic program, or just different students that I've encountered throughout this whole semester and year.
Yeah,
and I'll wrap it up. Oh, go ahead.
I was like, she's just like a proud mom when a QBasic student.
I know.
And yes, we will turn that picture into a meme because it should be. And just wrapping it up for me is making it through the semester. I felt like after each project we had, we thought it was the end, and it didn't feel like the end, but now we are literally at the end. But I'll also go back to some of the sentiments that Deja mentioned, is like just knowing that you can walk into our hallway space and know that some foolishness is going to begin because we're all in the same space. And, no matter if somebody's having a bad day or not, they still pop their head out and come and enjoying the fun. And I think to y'all's points, like the students see it. And I don't think that they see that in other spaces, whether it be on campus or within the athletic framework. And I think us being able to bring the fun, the joy, the laughter that they probably need through all of the things that they have going on, I think continues to just help build that community for them as well.
Perfect. And what is one word you will use to describe either the spring semester or the year with Maryland Made? Or a phrase. It doesn't have to be a phrase. I'll start. So mine is, we had a time. Okay.
Boy, we had
a time this semester. When I just feel like this semester and this whole year has just been very eye-opening, busy. It's just been a great experience overall, but at one point it just was very busy. So like Risa said, like I'm glad we made it to the end and we successfully executed all of our programs and stuff like that. And we're just going to continue to keep getting better and finding different ways to do what we do.
I got you. Fast-paced, foolish, and fulfilled.
I like those three.
The 3 Fs.
I'll say historic. I just feel like we did a lot of new initiatives this year. We seen athletes get involved that don't normally get involved. QBasic, that's the first year that's seen that. So there's a lot of new things that we implemented that I think that we should be proud of. So I'm gonna go with historic.
Legendary.
It's a great one. I think maybe because I just hopped into it and have heard all about the great work you all have done, but I think I'll say invigorating, only because like I think I came at a great time where you all have set such an amazing pace where I'm just ready to contribute to that and work on stuff through the summer. So it's kind of like what I've seen from the past semester, but also what I'm hoping it can continue to be in the summer and the next school year.
I think that a phrase that explains it would be Risa, 21. Can you do so?
22.
Oh no, you know,
Like,
I like to
nah,
break
but
up the trend. I like to break up the trend. You can thank the kids on TikTok because they were like, 21 what? Mom, it's 22.
no, but on top of that, just like Deja said, I would say jumping in head first, like that's been really great to kind of like really figure out like all the great things that we do in our Maryland Made team and figuring out, you know, ways that I can help, ways that I can continue supporting the team. So it's definitely been a rush, like a really good rush full of a whole bunch of different transitions. So I've been enjoying it though. It's been like an adrenaline spike. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been good.
And it's not over, everyone. So our last program is actually today, when this episode is airing, May 8th, the block party. So if you are listening this morning, make sure you come through to the block party. We're gonna have a lot of good things. Roman Rooster, Kona Ice, concessions. It's gonna be a great time. So make sure you come out. We're gonna move on to the next summer. So summer plans for Maryland Made. I know this episode is called Maryland Made Takes Flight, but I think the listeners might think it's just a title, y'all.
they're
I
mistaken.
don't think they really know we're catching flights this summer. We going to Atlanta. So for those of you who don't know, Maryland Made is taking students to Atlanta for a career exposure tour. And we're going to have 3 groups: sports, corporate, and health. Basically going to different site visits. Some of the sites include Morehouse School of Medicine, Coca-Cola, Home Depot headquarters. We'll be going to Atlanta Braves, CNN. So we have a lot of good sites lined up. Super excited for our students to just be exposed to different careers, hear from different people, and build their networks overall. And we're going to have fun while doing it. So if you have not signed up for Atlanta already, I suggest you go to the link in our bio and fill it out right now. Other than Atlanta, we also have a professional development series through the Internship Academy program. Nate, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so through Interp it's 8 weeks. So we'll have 7 different speakers to come and talk about different things that will sharpen your skills to be the best professional. So just thinking about some topics, we'll be talking about DE&I, workplace culture, conflict resolution. So over this summer, I know it might get a little boring. You might be at home. Maybe it's you having too much fun, but you want to just tap back in and get some development. Join us on Wednesday. We'll start at 2:00. Everything will be virtual. So it'll be a good opportunity to just get some more education throughout the summer.
Perfect. And then we also have Summer Bridge. Daisy and Daisy, y'all want to give a rundown about that?
Yeah, Summer Bridge we have happening this year, and we're really excited to have and welcome some of our freshmen to campus to pretty much help y'all with your transition coming into Maryland. So it's going to be 3 weeks. And you're going to have different programming, but specifically for us, our Maryland Made team programming, we are going to talk to y'all about all the awesome opportunities that we've kind of talked about in this podcast and how it relates to you and your journey moving forward with us. And then we're just going to have some fun and some activities and build that up. So we're just really looking forward to having those opportunities and y'all joining us for a couple of hours to get through Summer Bridge.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a great part of the Summer Bridge will be the community building aspect as well. There aren't a lot of times where you can have a lot of student athletes in one room at one time. So we're trying to take advantage of that. When still figuring out exactly what we will do, we want to make sure we do something in the community, whether it's on campus or partnering up with other schools in the local area. So definitely, I think this will be a great time to introduce our newer student athletes to what is possible to do outside of your sport.
Awesome. And what are you guys most excited about this summer as far as our programming? Because I know it just doesn't stop. So it's like, I'm super excited for that. Just the fact that we'll be continuing all of the great things that we're doing and trying to find different ways to implement them. So, Reese, you want to start?
Sure. It's easy to say Atlanta because 1, it's Atlanta, but 2, like being able to take 20 student athletes to a different city, I think is relatively exciting. But I'm gonna actually switch and say the Summer Bridge program because one, this is the second year our academic team has done it. I know they've tried to grow it each year, and so the fact that we get to really hit the ground running with the first year student athletes, I think is going to be vital to just us being sustainable the next couple of years because, you know, typically students hear about Maryland Made their second year, their third year, but being able to be on the ground level with them, I think is just going to push them to think more about their identity and their personal development outside of sport and outside of their academic endeavors.
Nice.
What you got, Nate?
Let me just make sure I'm clarify. We're talking specifically about Maryland Made program, right?
Yes.
Make sure. Okay, cool. So no, I think I'm gonna piggyback off Risa. Like I'm really excited to get in front of students early. I think that, you know, just having them exposed at an early stage is going to allow them to get involved because it's going to be what they know. I know we have some stuff planned for some international students as they integrate in and find a new home in College Park. So I'm excited to get to see them on campus. I'm also excited about internship. Like I think that getting students that experience ahead of time before they graduate is always key. I know I played sports in college and a lot of athletes did not get to have that experience. So just getting to see students as they go through the program, get some good experience. And I mean, hopefully I would love to see like a job opportunity come from it one day. So that's what I'm looking forward to. We're excited about.
Deja?
I think what I'm most excited about this summer, so being able to take over for QBasic for the great job that Sydney did. So just building on all of the feedback that we've gotten from the first cohort for the program and kind of like continuing to fine tune it to exactly what they're asking for and where we think the information that they need. So I'm really looking forward to making that program and giving it more of the interaction and engagement that they have been asking for. And so just continuing to build on a great program. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to jumping in with that.
So I know with the community engagement intern position being newer, I'm most excited for just helping to like build the brand of Share the Shell and strengthening the relationships with our community partners as well. So just this summer is what I want to really like hone in on is working with our newer Share the Shell liaisons, figuring out what they want to expect out of their peers, and then going from there and really making sure that Share the Shell is like imprinted within our brand at UMD in UMD athletics.
So exciting. Okay, Nate, now we can go to your part. So now, does anyone have any specific summer plans outside of Maryland Made, whether it be like conferences, vacations, personal businesses?
Yeah, I'm going to Orlando, which I'm super excited about. I was accepted into the effective facilitation workshop with the NCAA. So that'll be cool just to learn a lot about how to better facilitate so I can bring that back to campus and make sure we're pouring into the student athletes the right way. They're learning everything they can when we do different stuff for GASA fellows and anything moving forward. Yeah, that's what I'm excited about for sure.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
Hate that.
Daisy?
I was gonna say no conferences for the summer plans, but I am really excited. I'm going to Jamaica in a month, so that'll be really relaxing. I can't wait to just sit up on the beach and chill, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to some much needed downtime throughout this transition that I've been having this past month and some change.
Let's see. I'm excited for this summer, honestly. Like I'm done with my grad school classes for now, so it's up. End of May, I'll be going on a cross country road trip with my family. We'll see how that goes because we're going from like here to Vegas, and yeah, I'm excited though. But some of us might not make it back. And then in June, I'm gonna be going to the Minority Opportunities Athletic Association's symposium in Orlando, so I'm excited for that. I got a grant to go, and then going to Jamaica too. Wish Daisy brought me with her, but I'm not going when she's going. I'm going at the end of June. So I'm excited.
Marisa?
So for those who don't know, I guess the time is now to shine. I am a keynote speaker for the Black Student Athlete Summit coming up at the end of May, I'm also a keynote speaker at the Big Ten LGBTQ plus symposium. Again, also at the end of May, beginning of June. So I'm booked and busy this early part of summer. And so on the back end of the summer, I typically take 2 weeks off to spend time with my fiance, and a lot of wedding planning to happen this summer. So rest will come, just won't be the first half of the summer.
Okay, come on, speaker. We love it. Booked and busy. So I know I joke about this all the time, but I'm going on tour this summer. So outside of Atlanta, it's giving Vegas, Dallas, where else? Bahamas, maybe another island, but I'm just looking forward to enjoying summer, traveling, having fun. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Outside of that, Maryland Made is indeed taking flight for the summer. We will still be available for all student athletes. I know we added some new programs this semester, but what do you guys think is next for Maryland Made?
I'm gonna let everybody go before me.
I was gonna say, you know what? That's a really good question. I think from my newbie perspective, I'd say just the continuation of building community within our programs that we already have in host. So just finding new and creative ways to continue connecting our students. That way they not only receive the amazing information that we're giving them, but they also build friendships and relationships with the other students that are in their cohorts or in their respective student groups as well. So I think that's the next thing, in my opinion, as a newbie who's still learning, is just finding different ways to continue to build that connection.
One thing that I hope to see is more trips. I think that is a huge thing, just because I know we call it exposure. But just putting students, athletes in a vicinity in the building, I think is huge. They have the ability to meet with the professionals and even just see the landscape of like what it looks like on a day-to-day. So I know DC is down the street, and I know some students have talked about like different industries. So maybe something in the healthcare. I would love to see stuff like that moving forward.
Maybe I see for Maryland Made, hopefully trying to diversify the student athletes who are taking advantage of the opportunities. I know that's not something that's like solely, of course, if we could change it, we would, but I think just maybe trying to get a little more creative. And I want to take more responsibility with that, because I'm sure you all have done amazing efforts with that already, but just trying to like get more of our athletes of color involved and to take advantage of everything we offer.
And I'll jump in. I'll say, I feel like something that I've learned being here is we're always trying to create new ways of thinking, new initiatives. So I just know Maryland Made is going to continue pushing along and thinking of new ways to lead this space, as well as being the #1 student athlete development program in the world. So I'm just excited to see whatever comes out of the summer retreat. And see where Maryland Made goes, because it's never going to be the same stuff. It's always going to be something innovative, something new, that benefits our student athletes. So I'm just excited for that.
And then I'll just kind of end it with like seeing our student groups, the 3 of them that we have, so SAG, Worldwide, Terps, and PhD, take it to the next level, right? We can do all the programming we want, and we can invite all the students that we want under the sun. But I think when they're the ones creating the programming, when they're the ones putting their blood, sweat, and tears behind it, is a different feel. And so I want to continue to see those 3 groups kind of push themselves a little bit further moving forward and creating their own community of programming that they know peer-to-peer needs. So that's kind of what I'm looking for moving into the next academic year.
Nice. And what are some conversations and changes you hope to continue to push in the spaces you occupy? I'll start. So I feel like I said this in our staff meeting before, but it's like Maryland Made is truly like no other, in a sense of like we can come in and have fun and just be like happy and literally just have fun, but still get the work done and be productive. So I just want to continue to carry that onto wherever my next journey is, and try and be my authentic self wherever I go. Make sure I'm going somewhere that aligns me with who I am.
I think for me, we often talk about the diversity of programming in terms of like who's showing up, but it's also like the intentionality from the top down, thinking about all the spaces that we need diverse voices in, right? Not just at the student level, not just making sure they're coming to the program, but thinking about how are we actually creating an inclusive environment throughout every space that our students show up? Because if we're the only space that they feel it, it's not going to be authentic for them in their entire Maryland athletic journey. So I think for me, it's like trying to find other ways that we can celebrate it throughout the department.
I think for me, a big proponent of why I do what I do and why I love the job that I do is continuing to push student athletes to see themselves outside of their sport and understand, there's so many different facets of who they are and getting them to understand that. So I think just continuing to have conversations to just genuinely get to know the students and their interests and their desires outside of, becoming a pro, which is not a bad dream, but just having them understand that there are other dreams that they can live as well. And just kind of like finding that middle ground of I'm doing all I need to do on the court, the field, the pool, whatever here, but then also making sure I'm intentional about doing that same work for my personal and professional life moving forward as well. So just having those types of conversations and letting their minds broaden a bit more outside of what they think they're here to do and let them know like, hey, you're here for so much more than that.
Something I thought about during the Gossip Fellow presentations was something they mentioned actually was mental health. And it made me immediately think about the Team Impact Fellows. So a conversation or a change I want to continue or maybe start is like a mental health check-in or something, because working with Team Impact can be a lot emotionally, especially at a younger age for the student athletes who will be involved in it. So even if I have that for my share the share liaisons or other student groups, like knowing that sports psychology doesn't fall under our umbrella, just something, even if it's tips that I can give or like leaving the door open in that way, I want to make sure that I incorporate that or continue that conversation within the student groups.
Man, finally, I just want to piggyback on what like Risa and Daisy both mentioned. Like, I think just working with students to continue to allow them to figure out like who they are outside of sport. Like, I think that just growing up, like personally, I played sports since I was 9. I know a lot of athletes been playing sports since they were a kid. That's all they know, but there's so much more than that. So just trying to push them in that area. And then as far as the leadership goes, just trying to figure out I think Risa does a great job of setting the standard on leadership. I think I learned a lot in that aspect. And just having different conversations on leadership around like how to guide groups or teams in that nature.
All right. Well, it looks like it's almost time to board our plane, guys. So, any final thoughts on the academic year?
Yo, we made it. Like, and I know people are gonna listen to this and be like, well, everybody made it, right? But like, no, seriously, when you look at the landscape of college athletics and you think about the turnover that not only our unit has had, but the industry as a whole has had, the fact that we not only pretty much turned over our entire staff over the last year, but also thinking about that none of our programs skipped a beat. Like our students did not miss anything because we hired the right people. Y'all came in, y'all hit the ground running, and the students didn't suffer because of that. And I know that that's not the same or could not be said the same in any other institution. So I think the fact that we were able to accomplish everything we did with 4 new people in this staff and our students got everything that they needed or desired, I think says a lot about us as a team. That's my final thought.
I'm just feeling like the sky's the limit. Like we did a lot this year, and I just feel like moving forward, we can do so much more. So like we said, I think we have a great team, great staff, and we can do it. So I'm looking forward to the future and what that has to bring.
I just have to piggyback off Nate. Like I'm just excited for what can be done. Like I feel you keep like the bar keeps rising every time. And so just excited to see what other bars we can raise. And I'm just happy to be with this team. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I definitely think I'd say some of my final thoughts. I know I only got to spend a month with everybody, but I would definitely say just continuing to grow. It's been so much fun. connecting with the students, with the staff. Shout out to the academic team, because those are our partners in crime. You know, working well together with them has been good too. But nah, it's been great, honestly. And being behind the scenes, watching y'all work. I came in and y'all already had everything you needed done. So just being able to be a part of that and help in any way that I possibly could has definitely been a definitely great moment, growing moment, and an opportunity that I'm happy that I got to share with y'all. So
And that's on period. So it looks like they're about to give us the instructions and tell us to put our phones in airplane mode, guys. So for everyone listening, make sure you are following the Maryland Made on Instagram and Twitter at MD Made Terps, and connect with us on LinkedIn as well. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Maryland Made podcast. Please be sure to download, subscribe, and share our episodes on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast, so you never miss an episode. It's been real. Maryland Made, taking flight. Ooh, ooh, ooh.